Hello, everybody. This is Purge, guys. A Purgecast of Pub. This was submitted to me by Lil J. I had somebody on Twitter. Thanks for submitting this. This match looked really good. I haven't watched it yet, but I took a look at the final screen. It looks like there was a lot of kills, and it won't be too boring, so that's pretty exciting. So what I usually do with these is I am going to talk about the games that are being played. I'm going to talk about the heroes being played in it, how they're playing efficiently, how they're playing inefficiently, and things that they could do better. And basically just whatever I feel like talking about. And hopefully we'll be covering some topics that you guys haven't encountered yet, and will help teach you better how to play your Dota games. Since, pretty much everybody would love to get better at the game, if possible. So, first things first. Luna Clockwork, this means nothing. I'm actually going to speed. I'm going to go past the draft stage, personally. Actually, we can maybe think some things. Okay, this is on rank, so it is gonna fly in. Alright, first things first. Our team has way too many cores. This is going to give them some really big issues in the mid game. Oh yeah, one thing I need to do is reduce my scroll speed. Spoilers. Options, deceleration all the way down so it can be a little bit more smooth. Okay, so this team's pretty dicked because they don't have any hard supports. They have a lot of physical damage, which is going to stack nicely with Shadow Fiend passive and his aura, which reduces armor. And Luna damage, which, oh god, that is not the first skill you get. Yeah, this Moonglaive is not your level 1 skill, guys. It does 35%. You never want to get a farming ability at level 1 in most cases because it scales really poorly. And this is something you should be thinking about all the time when you do skill builds. And when I used to play Dota 1 in Warcraft 3 way back, that's what you'd have to do. And I maybe got jump started on this because I played a lot of custom games. And in custom games, you never knew what the skills did. So I had a lot of experience playing a custom game and being like, I don't know what any of my skills do, and you'd have to read them and figure out which one you thought was the best. And usually the way I did this was check to see how well they scaled. Like I'd say, oh, Lucent Beam does 75 damage, and it does 150, and it does 225, and it does 300. That scales average. It's going to be about the same little levels. But you can look at Lunar Blessing and say, oh, it gives me 14 damage with 1 skill point, which is a very large percentage of the total damage because the scaling between the first and second level is pretty good. So you can very easily say like, oh, maybe Lunar Blessing is the better skill to get right at the first level. Or maybe Lucent Beam is good because it has a stun duration. But Moonglaive is definitely not the one to level up at level 1, especially for the fact that you're doing 35% of your 50 base damage, which is going to come to about 17. And not to mention this is pushing. You don't really want to push the lane. So there's multiple, unless he's jungling. I guess if he's jungling, this will be okay. He's not jungling. He's going to his lane, guys. If he's jungling, it seems okay. But other than that, it's not a good idea. Tiny not getting his South Shields is a huge mistake. PA's abilities are decent here, but I mean, beating out an Axe. He's got a double Stout Shield, by the way. This is maybe a bit better than it used to be because the block chance is about 50%, so you're getting a little bit more value than you did in the past for a Stout Shield, but I'd have to look at the math. Tiny not getting a Stout is a huge mistake, though. This hero has to have a Stout Shield or a Ring of Protection in the early game because he has 0 armor. It means that Axe can very easily just spin to win and get a ton of kills. So I really feel like the AA and Axe here are going to just absolutely stomp this dual lane here. I mean, they don't have a ton of farm yet, but man, this is a pretty lower level of game. I think I'm seeing a lot of mistakes being made, like using Dagger to harass an opponent when it only does half damage to your opponents. He's doing 30 pure damage every hit, and look at this, now he's completely out of mana. Now he has a counter for this by bringing Clarity Potions into his lane, but the most important thing is not to waste a Dagger. Lower level players often have trouble with this. You may seem like it not being a problem, but once you start playing the heroes more and more, or you play a new hero and then you realize, oh, this hero actually has mana problems that need to solve. A lot of that usually comes down to using your mana efficiently. And to use your mana efficiently, what you need to do is only use it when you're getting a last hit or when you have a really good opportunity to harass. So this isn't really the case with a Phantom Assassin, but for a hero like Tiny, for example, he was using Avalanche just to do damage to the Axe. That's not the right way to do it. He needs to use Avalanche when it's going to get him a last hit and do damage to Axe. If you do that, you get a lot more value. If Tiny had more regen, like a bottle or something like that, then you could justify maybe just harassing the Axe a bit more. But in this case, it was not the right decision to make, when he basically soul Avalanche to Axe multiple times. Axe is definitely going to want to call this. Oh, he's worried about the tower, okay. Axe against lower level players is one of the best things. He's actually spinning a lot. This range creep is really hurting the PA here. And this Stout Shield's doing so much work. No, Tiny's actually gonna die now. Yeah, because he was gonna get killed or stunned before the Axe ended up dying. I think this Axe is maybe gonna die here. He has a really high chance of surviving with the Stouts, though. Oh, is this... Oh, 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 oh. Dagger? Dagger? Dagger. Go. Go. I think he's going to make it. Okay, he made it. That was pretty intense. Oh, he's not going to catch him. There's the dagger, but, I mean, that wasn't going to... Oh, man, he's actually... Whoa, what is going on here? Let's see. Okay. Even the Shadow Fiend shifted over? That's a big mistake, because now Sniper's just going to kill everybody. If he had Shrapnel, please get Shrapnel, guys, when you're playing Sniper. Okay, that's definitely a dead SF. You gotta get at least one Shrapnel. There's no reason not to have any levels of Shrapnel, because it's a very spammable spell. It's one of the reasons that Sniper is so OP. PA died to a neutral creep. That was not worth it. She went really hard for that kill and did not get it. Tiny back to the top lane with boots. This is something else that a lot of players may make a mistake of. If you're saving all of your money in the early game, you need to be going towards something that has a purpose. And you have to plan your builds out a bit when you leave the base. I mean, you can adjust them as you go, but if he leaves the base with 3 Ironwood branches and a Tango, I'm guessing maybe he wanted to mid and somebody stole it. If you go with that plan, you need to adjust your items very rapidly. Like, going back in the lane with the Boots of Speed isn't going to accomplish anything. He didn't plan out his item builds very well here. He could have gotten a bottle with no boots, which probably would have been better in my opinion. But instead what he opted for was getting a boots and walking back to lane. So yeah, he gets movement speed out of that, but it's not going to set him up for a kill afterwards. So you have to like plan what you're going to do and plan for the game after. Because even if he survived right now, he would have been completely out of HP. He would have had to run all the way back to base. You need to have some... okay. You need to have some level of planning for the future. This guy's definitely going to die here. Axe is very good against the level players. To counter him, you just need ranged heroes, basically. That's the easiest way. Again, to talk about the things that the PL, or the Axe should have been, or not the Axe, the Tiny should have been doing with his money. Any kind of regen would be good. Obviously, stapping some experience is good. If he does want to pull these creeps, he should pull them up. But the important part is that you need to be able to transition your item build into the mid game, into what you're doing. If you're farming, you're going to need regen. If you're ganking, you're going to need mana regen. He could have gone ganking with his boots, for example, if he really wanted to. Man, this guy really wants to kill Axe here. I like that Tiny has saved his mana here. He could shift over and maybe attempt for the Axe here. Or maybe even the A. That's also a possibility. But Axe is a little lower on HP. He has the Stout Shield, I guess, so... That's actually really good damage. That's the charge. Where's that charge coming from? I don't think SB is going to get this kill. Maybe? Get hit? I like us for Magic Community. He gave up. I guess he wouldn't have gotten there in time. I just think the Tiny could be playing this better in terms of his items. I guess he's getting decent last hits. No, he's actually not. He's only got 2 last hits here. He has virtually no last hits. It's a bad sign. He really needed a Stout Shield, though. Alright, I think we should ignore this lane. It's pretty much played out. AA's gone, a skill build that is not popular anymore, but is something you can do. I think it's worth getting at least 1 level of Chilling Touch, because it does increase... Because it gives you 150 magic damage on your hero, and 150 on an ally. Though there is a reduced attack speed when you're doing this. But... Alright, that's easily a double kill now because of the attack speed. I think. I believe. Again, the slow chase. I think what these 2 melee heroes should be doing is they should basically just pull the creep wave back, kill it fast, and let it die under a tower. Obviously, you're going to have Axe cutting the creep wave a lot, and that makes things really tough, but sometimes it's even okay to just abandon the lane and go into the jungle, but they're so underfarmed at this point that it's very, very difficult to do that. And I think it would be good for Tiny to maybe just roam. If he did have bottle money, he could just go around the map getting kills, because Tiny actually is a pretty good ganker. Does 180 damage to Avalanche, 150 with toss, plus they take an extra 20% damage if you toss the actual hero. And if you combo them together, the Avalanche damage does more when somebody's in the air. So I think he could very easily move around the map getting kills. The mid hero is a Sniper. That's very gankable. Sniper has very low HP if you can land the Avalanche. So for example, if Sniper's sitting here, and you Avalanche him and then you toss him onto the Shadow Fiend, then the Shadow Fiend can guarantee a melee raise. Yeah, it looks like the Shadow Fiend's having a rough time mid.
Thanks for standing still, ganker.
Sitting in your lane isn't always the best thing to do, especially if you're losing. And if you do have ganking opportunities, you can. Like a Tiny as a support is actually not that bad. Once you get your form of mana regen, like a bottle or an arcane boots or something like that, you can actually roam. So if you are having a really tough lane, and this was a tough lane for them, irregardless of the fact that they fed it, an Axe, Ancient Apparition versus a PA and a Tiny is a bad lane. I would say once Tiny gets like level 2 or level 3, what he should be doing is going around roaming. Again, they don't have very many support heroes, so I think it would work decently well. You can even gank the bot lane. Timbersaw's a bit weak to magic burst. Clockwork could have gone in there, I think. Alright, that was not the hook that he needed, that's for sure. I can't believe the Spirit Breaker's not 6 yet. Skink is over. No way, Axe killed another hero. He's got Blink Dagger now, 6 kills. That's pretty good. But yeah, Tiny just needs to roam around the map getting kills, making things happen. I think that would be far, far better here. Sniper being abusive with max range, I guess. He actually does so much damage here when you don't have shrapnel levels. Okay, that was good. The Sniper made the mistake of not attack moving, basically. If you are a very long range here, what you need to do is attack, back away, attack, back away. You want to kite somebody, essentially. That's what the word means. Or it's a term. Basically means you want to keep somebody at your range, but far away from their range. So if you're a ranged hero versus a melee, you want to stay at range and keep your melee hero at ranged. That way they can't attack and you can, because that's a really big advantage. If Sniper just would have attacked, moved a little bit, or if he had shrapnel at all, then he could have slowed the Shadow Fiend in this position and then walked away and continued to hit and guaranteed that kill, instead of getting double raised. Shadow Fiend's always going to be a threat because of raises, basically. So you still have to be pretty careful. Looks like Sniper's going to go fast Desolator. I actually like this build a lot. I used to go this build on Sniper before Sniper got really popular. And it's really cool because it lowers armor and headshot does physical damage. It's not really anything that's built anymore because most people will get Mask of Madness, which does lifesteal, which you can't build with Desolator. But if you're just looking for a big, beefy damage item, I think that's one cool way to play Sniper. It's more of a damage build and less of a mobility one. Almost all Snipers play mobility right now. That's a Yule's on Luna. I don't agree with this. The hero doesn't actually have boots yet, which also makes some trouble. The skill build is bad. You gotta max out Lucent Beam first. 1 level Lunar Blessing. It's not really worth getting a 2nd level. And an early Moonglaive you can maybe argue for, but he should have at least 3 levels in Lucent Beam right now to make his Eclipse really pay off. So Shadow Fiend now treads. His skill build is fine. I think I saw him maxing on Necromastery before Raise, which was a mistake. You definitely want to max Raise first. Unless you're doing amazing on Necromastery, the Raise levels are almost always the right way to go. And it looks like he's going to go for a Yasha, which I think will be okay this game. There are a decent amount of slows and chasing heroes on the Radiant team, and it looks like they're coming to defend this. I don't think they'll get there in time, though. PA is still level 4. It's Tiny farming top at least. Okay, so at least somebody's getting experience top, which is good. His skill build is arguably fine. Some Tinies argue that the 2-3-1 skill build by 6 is the best. And I actually have a lot of, I think that sounds pretty good, because the movement speed you get from 1 level grows 40. It's like an extra boost. Like right now, the hero's pretty slow at 335, but if you get a grow level, you get 40 movement speed, you get 50 damage, and you only reduce your attack speed by 20%. That's easily worth it, I think, to get the grow at level 6. 20 attack speed is not that bad in exchange for 40 damage. I think this fight is pretty over. Oh, he's got a Mask of Madness already. Just get a battery salt here. That's going to be a dead Sniper. And this guy Bashel hit the other guy. Okay, good. I was worried for the PA there. He was level 4. He just got 3 levels out of that fight. Oh my gosh. He had actually no items. He actually has no items. He's died 5 times. This is actually a pretty low MMR game. This has got to be like a... I feel like this is a lower than 2k MMR game. Maybe like a 1000 MMR game, 1500 MMR game. It's pretty low. Definitely pretty low. This is not how you farm jungle on Luna. I guess he does have glaives. I don't even know what skill build he's going to get next. I really have no clue. Is he going to die? Come on! No, he's going to be okay. What does he get for level 7? Is he going to go Moonglaves? Passive. God, this build is backwards as hell. If he just rotated, like if you just put a mirror where Moonglaves is and flipped his skills, I would be like, you know what? If that's really what you want to do, that's fine. But it's not, this is not the build. If you're jungling, it's far better to level up Moonglaves because you're getting way more damage. Let's do the math here. There's some inverse relations between Lunar Blessing and Moonglaves, obviously, but let's do some math. Let's say that every time you Moonglaive, you're getting 35% of that bounce, right? So the first bounce gives you something like 35 damage right now because he has 100 damage. So he's getting about 35 damage for every extra level Moonglaive. If he gets another skill point in Lunar Blessing, he's only increasing his damage by 8. But obviously the way these skills interact is really good, because if your damage is really high, then the amount that each Moonglaive does is higher. But at this point, if you're jungling, it's far better, I think, to go for Moonglaives. The only counter argument for that is that if you have Lifesteal, Lunar Blessing gives you way more payoff, because you don't Lifesteal based on the Moonglaives. You only Lifesteal based on the Lunar Blessing. So, oh my god, is he rushing an Ags? I was like, this is going to be Yules, which is weird as hell, but maybe has some use. But now he's like, alright, this has got to be like sub 1k MMR. I'm missing all the party, I guess. Looks like Sniper's going to do his usual standstill and blow people up. He has finally gotten Shrapnel very, very late here, but I mean, these players are very new. They don't know very much about attack moving, obviously. Sniper gets really strong if you attack move, basically. Makes a huge difference. He's going to hit very, very hard now. It's actually pretty bad for the Dire team.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He just might last hit into some items, which is good. Good sign for him. How's Axe doing? He's got a Blade Mail. He's got a Blink Dagger. This guy can very easily control the whole game, honestly. Just move around ganking all the place. Shadow Fiend missing half souls. That gank is very unlikely, but with PA, maybe they can get it. Oh, that's a Void Stone. Alright. Man, this is like casting Dota 1 this game. This is great. The reason Void Stone... Oh, God. The reason Void Stone is one of the worst items you can get in the early game. Oh, he's actually going to kill this guy. One of the worst items you can buy in the early game is Void Stone, by far. And on Phantom Assassin, it's by far one of the worst items you can purchase. And this is why this guy has bought Clarity Potions, because he's played PA before, and he's like, dude, I always run out of mana. And I'm sure he does, because he spams his dagger at bad times. And then this is also further made worse by him having an inefficient item build. Look at that damage. Oh, that was actually good. Oh, this is actually a mistake for the Spirit Breaker, I think. I think he can outplay this. Maybe? I think he can do it. Come on, you got this. Oh man, that guy got bashed so much.
Didn't see me coming, did you?
I'm surprised he didn't get that leap off. He landed the dagger. If you shoot the dagger range, you almost always have it. I guess he doesn't have boots though. So, all right. The reason that Void Stone is so terrible is because percent-based mana regen items are based on the amount of base mana regen you have, or the amount of mana regen you have, and the amount of mana regen you have is based on your intelligence. PA is actually one of the dumbest heroes in the game. 1 int per level. That's really, really low. Yeah, thank you. Just dunk him. It's one of the worst HP regions in the game. So if you buy a Void Stone, this is doubling one of the worst HP regions in the game. Which you may say like, well, it's doubling it, like you're getting more regen. But the difference is that you can buy Basilius and it gives probably as much mana regen. We'd have to see him losing mana right now, but I bet his mana regen is somewhere around 1. Maybe 1.5 tops. If you buy Basilius, it gives you a static number. It's not a percent-based mana regen item. It gives you 0.65 mana per second. That means if you have terrible int, Basilius is the item for you. And if you're playing an agility hero, Aquila is definitely the item for you. So on heroes like Phantom Assassin or Troll, the best way to get your mana up is to get a Basilius. Because it costs 500 gold, it gives you 6 damage, it gives you lots of armor. A Void Stone is going to give you very comparable mana regen, and it costs more, and it does less in other factors. Obviously, a Void Stone will eventually make a Battle Fury, and that's probably what this guy is doing. He's saying, oh, I'm getting a Battle Fury, so why not buy this? But the reality is that there's a lot of items that you should buy that get you to those bigger items that make you a much stronger hero. And he bought the wrong one. Obviously, boots is really important, but you need to slowly ramp up your items into a place where things finally get strong. Sometimes you'll have a game where you get a ridiculous gold advantage, or like you get a rampage early on in the game and all of a sudden like things are super in your favor. And that's great for you, but a lot of times it's very difficult to get those advantages without some kind of small item. You need those small items to push those advantages. You can't just rush Battle Fury unless you're playing Anti-Mage. It's just not a good build to do unless you have complete free farm and a ridiculous gold advantage. There's almost always better items to get. Treads, Phase Boots, Ring of Aquilas, little things like that to push you up and to get you to a good position. Spiritbreaker going for an Armlet Mask of Madness. This is actually a pretty good build. I think this guy's playing pretty well. Mask of Madness gives you a lot of attack speed. Armlet increases your damage by 60. The only downside is the hero is going to be losing some HP because of it. That looked like a toss there. Hey, he used shrapnel, hooray. I don't think he's gonna die here, yeah. 378 for the level 2, keep that in mind. Assassinate does 378. Axe has picked up a Vanguard. I don't know if I like this. How's Luna doing, by the way? Her skills have only gotten more confusing, guys. Luna has benefited from her regen items, so again, Basilius with the Sage's Mask, I think that's okay for the early game. I wouldn't recommend it if you're jungling Luna for a very, very long time, but it's an option. He is actually just not participating. It looks like he's gotten kills and assists and stuff, but he's basically just not participating in the game at all. This should be a pretty easy kill. There's so many creeps here. I mean, if you want to AFK Luna, this is the build you should go. Skip your ulti, skip Lucent Beam, max out Moonglaves and Lunar Blessing, with Moonglaves being maxed first, because the Glaives to 6 is going to do a lot. If you really want to AFK jungle Luna, you can do that. You'll jungle really fast, but you need to have boots and you need to have lifesteal. I would probably go brown boots with Mask of Menace, and then get a Treads afterwards, I think. I think that's probably what I would do. Oh, Spiritbreaker actually died. This should be a dead SF, right? Yeah, if he gets like any headshots, things are just not good for him. He could use literally any shrapnel charges, but it's one of the problems with Sniper, of course. Nice. Alright, so look at this mana regen, 1.8. That means... Oh, this is not good. So she's getting 1.8 mana regen. That means without the Void Stone, her mana regen was 0.9. So by spending 875 gold... Alright, that's good. Luna's doing it. By spending 875 gold, she increased her mana regen by 0.9. She could have bought a Basilius for 500 and increased her mana regen by 0.65 while also giving her damage, while also giving her 3 armor. Like, it's a huge, it's like very, very important. This is something people used to do all the time early on in Dota 1. Or all the time in Dota 1, basically. They would always buy a Void Stone or a Ring of Health at the beginning of the game when there was much better things that they could have purchased. Same Craig, he does, but... that guy really needs to pick up Grow. There's no reason not to grab this. He's probably saying like, oh, it reduces your attack speed, it's bad. But the benefits are way better. You also get a toss bonus. You get extra damage if you toss somebody in the air. I mean, there's no reason not to get this skill, other than the attack speed loss. But you can counteract that. I mean, 20 attack speed is not that much. Get a Mask, or get a Midas or something, you know? You can grab something that increases your attack speed. Craig Exterior is a good skill as well, but there's no reason to pass up Grow. The extra movement speed you get just allows you to snowball and do a lot of really good things. Clockwork's doing pretty well this game. 4-Staff Blade Mail is a great item build. There's nothing wrong with this at all. A lot of Clockworks will change up their item build depending on what the game entails, and Clock is still picked in the pro scene. Blade Mail is definitely a great item to get because it's very inexpensive. It's about 2,000 gold. And with that 2,000 gold, you get, what, plus 22 damage, you get 6 armor, you get a bunch of intelligence. The hero's lacking a bit of int. His int gain is 1.3. There's too many creeps here for this to be a good hook, but it'll work. I think they maybe could have killed Sniper. Oh, that was actually a really good toss there. I don't know if that was done on purpose, but... Spiritbreaker hits really hard here. Alright, the PA still has no items. This guy's got to be brand new to Dota. There's no way that this guy is not brand new to Dota, because he's got 2,000 gold. The only explanation is that he's brand new. That's the only thing that makes sense. It's got to be like a brand new game. There's no way. You don't get to like 2,000 gold and not spend your item on even boots. I mean, there's like 2 heroes on the Dire team that don't have boots. Oh man, they got boots. It's gonna be an Aghanims, guys. I figured it was Aghanims once it was a Ogre Club. Ags on Luna is not a good item build. It's really not worth it at all, I don't think. What does our beams go up to? They go from 11 to 14. So you basically get 1, 2, and 3 extra beams, which is pretty big if you think about it only hitting heroes. And the cool part is that the max hits goes away, I believe. Yeah, the max hits goes away. So if you're in a one-on-one, I guess you could argue that Eclipse or the Aghanims is really overpowered if you think about it. Like, I mean, think about it before. You're basically going from 4 max hits to 14. So you can basically do an extra 3,000 magic damage to 1 hero if you do have Aghanims. It's kind of a cool idea, but in practice it doesn't really work out like that, and it's countered by BKBs. I guess it does have a lot of value if you think about it, but I feel like it's difficult to get all the blasts off. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be winning games and stuff like that. He does have to be pretty careful because there is Blade Mail Axe, so if he is taking all of that magic damage, he's going to get wrecked really hard. But it's kind of a cool idea, but I think in practice it's... I don't know. Maybe there is some value in a late game Luna grabbing an Aghanim Scepter, but you have to make sure that you can also clear the creeps, because if the creeps are the ones taking the Lucent Beams, then the Ags isn't worth it. You don't grab Ags on Luna so that you can do extra damage, so you can do more beams. It's not good for the extra beams. The extra beams are there. It's 1, 2, and 3 extra beams, but you don't grab Eclipse for the extra beams. You grab it for the reducing the max hits. So there is some value to maybe saying, I'm playing Luna and I'm against a hard carry that doesn't have a BKB, and I want some extra beam damage. You could argue that is fine if you're worried about a 1v1, but in most cases when you're playing Luna, you don't want to buy your items based on that. You could just buy an item that actually lets you do more single target damage, like a Daedalus or a Monkey King Bar or something like that. That's usually the better way to go, but maybe there's some situations where Luna with an Ags is something you could purchase, but in most cases people will just be like, I want Manta, BKB, Butterfly, into a Satanic, and then a Daedalus, and I'm invincible. And that works really well as well, but maybe there's a time where this could be the right item build. Maybe if you're against like a Troll Warlord or something and he doesn't have a BKB. But if they have BKBs and it completely counters the Ags, which is, you know, the main reason that things don't really work out very nicely. So, the other problem is that the Ags does very little for your damage. It does give you about 400 HP, which is pretty good, but I don't think this is the right item build. There is some value in the Ags, but I don't think it's quite here yet in Dota. Mech on the AA. This is something that was done a very long time ago, but as since has kind of been shifted away. I think this is actually a very good build, the build that he's got here. Not maxing Shilling Touch, I think, is fine. It's maybe not ideal, but it's okay. Oh man, he beamed the wrong person. That was a big mistake. I like the mech build. I know a lot of AAs will go Midas and transition into an Aghanim Scepter very slowly, but mostly through the combat of combat and getting Midas and creeps. Those are all really good ways to get farm on Ancient Apparition, but if you get the mech, it allows you to fight early, and I think that's pretty cool. Like, AA doesn't... Like, a lot of A's will grab things like Arcane Boots, and I don't think that's really necessary. You can grab stuff like Treads is fine, you can go Tranquil Boots, Urn is really good. You don't really need a whole lot of items on this hero to be useful, and you don't really need any item for the hero to be guaranteed useful. But I feel like going for a battle mode is there's nothing wrong with that. Building a mech is something that's a little underdone right now, so I think doing builds like this is pretty cool. The other cool thing about Treads on this hero is the hero has very low HP and doesn't have a reliable lockdown, so if you just grab Treads, you can change it to Strength Treads when you feel like you're going to die. Casting Ice Vortexes on creeps doesn't do anything, by the way, for obvious reasons, because he's not actually casting any spells, so make sure that you actually don't waste your Electric Vortexes, or Ice Vortexes, sorry. Completely different skill. And a mech on Clockwork. A little bit of an old school build, but it's definitely something you can do as well. Avalanche miss. Okay. Should be a dead. Toss is actually working out here. Okay. His first... Oh, and then he bought phase boots. Interesting. Okay. I think this works. Is he gonna get help? Oh, nice. Okay, Sniper died. This is one of the problems with the Desolator build, is that your HP is very low. It does very little for your HP. And a lot of snipers will alternate getting a Shadow Blade immediately after to make up for that, but I think that's maybe the wrong build. I think the right build is maybe a Sanjinyasha Desolator is a bit more right. You can't get Scotty with Deso, that's the other problem with the Desolator, and Scotty is seen as arguably the best item right now on a lot of agility carries, so that's basically why we don't see Desolator anymore, in addition to the lifesteal and the Mask of Madness issue. But Shadow Blade is definitely not the item get. Oh, that was a huge save here. Oh, he's actually going to save him. That was really good. Shadow Blade is not the item on Sniper. I think it's completely the wrong item, because most heroes that dive you, like Shadow Fiend, or Storm, Clockwork, stuff like that, they're going to bring a dust with you if they see that you have a Shadow Blade. Obviously it works really well at low skill levels, but it doesn't even increase your damage by that much. It gives you 30 attack speed and plus 22, so I don't think getting a Shadow Blade is the right move. I think you should use Shadow Blades for offensive things more than defensive, basically. Shadow Blade is an offensive item, not a defensive one. Like, against bad players it works great defensively, but against good players it's horrible defensively. You should buy Shadow Blade when you want to go aggressive, when you want to get kills, and that's why we see a lot of mid players picking up Shadow Blades now. They'll buy it on heroes like Lina, they'll buy it on heroes like Shadow Fiend sometimes, they'll buy it on heroes like Queen of Pain, because it gets you into position without your opponent seeing you coming, and then you should be able to initiate without them expecting it. And then the important part is the bonus damage. You get the 175 bonus damage, which makes the item more worth it. If you ignore the 175 bonus damage, the Shadow Blade is kind of a crappy item. You're spending 3,000 gold for 22 damage and 30 attack speed. That's garbage damage for 3,000 gold. Shadow Blade should be used as a setup item, setting up to start the fight. You shouldn't use it defensively if you can get away with it. It is sometimes good defensively, but if you're primarily using Shadow Blade as defensive, the item is not worth it if you look at the numbers. So that's important things to remember about Shadow Blade. Aghanims is up on Luna. I can't wait to see this do work. It's actually going to do a lot of work because we don't have a BKB on anybody on the Radiant team. It'll be pretty good on Timbersaw too, I feel. Like, at this point, Luna's going to be quite strong, honestly. She's giving her team 38 damage. She has 6 Moonglaves. Her damage is not amazing, but it's okay. We even have a Vlad's on Clock. Clock's actually been buying a lot of interesting items that are going to help his team in a lot of big ways. I mean, 5 armor to everybody is going to make a huge difference to counteract the Desolator that Sniper's putting out. Shadow Fiend does pretty good right-click. He's got a Presence of the Dark Lord as well, so everybody's right-click damage is going to be accelerated. I don't know why they got 4 staff there. And Sniper's going for a Maelstrom next, which is, again is another item that only gives you damage. And I think this is a bit of a mistake as well. Maelstrom obviously increases your farming speed by a lot, but it also prevents a Desolator from going out, which isn't that big of a deal because, you know, as long as your Desolator hits, it lasts for like 15 seconds. That's huge. A very long duration. So as long as your Desolator hits once, it's fine. But the Maelstrom does primarily magic damage, and that's not being buffed by the Desolator. So I feel like if you're growing this Desolator item build, it'd be better if you just got attack speed items and also something like you could get like attack speed items and stat items just to increase your HP. I feel like would be better. I don't know, the Desolator build is just not efficient. Like Lifesteal and Scotty are too good to pass up. The Desolator build is just very out of date. But if you do go Desolator, you should get like a Daedalus or something like that to further increase the amount of damage that you're getting from the minus armor. I guess nobody wants the Aegis here. Oh, is Act gonna steal this? Okay, somebody will grab it eventually. He actually did a lot of damage there. That was big contribution from Max. This man needs to turn his armlet on. Okay, and it is going to be a Battle Fury first on PA. She will eventually get there. You just wait. When she gets boots, things are going to change, alright? That's what's going to happen. Okay. Alright. That tiniest. Oh, if he gets slowed, he's in trouble. How do they have vision of this guy? Holy crap. He's got no shrapnel left, so... Oh, yeah, he's dead now. That's Aegis. Boom. And Shadow Blade is so good against level players. I don't think we have a single dust. I don't even think they know how to buy dust. Shadow Fiend building like MKB or something. It's that or Divine Rapier, I guess, right? Arcanes on Timbersaw not recommended. You don't really want to get Arcanes with Bloodstone. It's way too much mana. Well, it's not too much mana, it's just not very efficient mana. Arcanes is actually a very bad way to give yourself mana over time. It gives you bigger mana pool, which is cool, and you can give mana to your allies, but as a whole, Arcanes are not very good right now. Soul Ring is far superior. I don't really think Soul Ring needs a nerf, but maybe just Arcane Boots needs a buff is maybe what needs to happen. But once you transit into a Bloodstone, you should just keep Brown Boots. You don't really need to upgrade your boots on Timbersaw. If you do, maybe something like Tranquils is better for the armor. 4 armor is not to be let down in any way. Like, it's not bad to have 4 extra armor, basically. It does reduce your movement speed when you're being attacked, but considering most of your movement is based on Timber Chain, I think it's fine. But the main thing you should just do is save money and get boots to travel eventually. If you don't need to upgrade your boots, you don't have to. If you don't need the attack speed from treads, if you don't need the movement speed from phase boots, just don't upgrade your boots. Leave it at brown. There's a lot of heroes. There's a couple of heroes that can get away with this, like Warlock, for example, doesn't really need to upgrade his boots in most cases. Timbersaw doesn't need to once he upgrades to Bloodstone. Here comes the... unfortunately, there's so many creeps here. They gotta kill these creeps. You know, this is actually pretty good. This Aghs Luna thing, that was not bad. If Luna could be played as a support, I feel like Aghs Luna would actually be a thing. Oh, that is going to be... Alright, Shadow Blade paying off again. The only other problem is that the duration, or the cooldown is so long. Can you refresh this? You know, if you can refresh... If you can Eclipse 2 at the same time, I feel like Agh's Refresher Luna would be good, except for the whole BKB thing. The BKB completely counters that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I wonder if that's viable, though. I feel like if you could Eclipse 2 at the same time, then it would be worth it. Because it does a lot of damage. It's, what, 14 beams? That's 300 magic damage apiece. That's like 4,000 magic damage that you're doing. Up to 4,000 magic damage to one person. Can you toss this guy? Holy crap, just toss him. There we go. Alright, now toss yourself onto the timber saw. You got this. Oh, come on, you can get this. Oh, man. Alright, battle phase completed, guys. 33 minutes. PA, new to Dota, is ready to go. Somebody tell this man to buy boosted speed, please. Yes, he did it! He's like, alright guys, I rushed my Battle Fury, it's completed. Boots of speed on the way, time to farm. AC is going to be next for Tiny. That's pretty late. I think it's better to go for a Blink Dagger here, that's for sure. It's going to be Ags next on Timber Saw, it's a good pickup. Ags next on A, I think that's fine. It's maybe a bit late. I think I would prefer to get a Ghost Scepter at this point or a Force Staff, because if you ever get, obviously the team fights are all over the place, but if he gets hooked by Clockwork and he's trapped in cogs, being able to Force Staff himself out would be really good. And Mjolnir's the pickup for Sniper. Again, if you're gonna give up your orb by getting a Desolator, I don't think it's worth to get. I guess it's okay. You can get these two items together, but I just don't see the value in buying a Desolator anymore. It's just not good. Unless you go all in on damage and you get a Daedalus after your Desolator. It's just, if this guy had a Dust, it would be a kill. But he doesn't have a Dust. He's got good enough items where I feel like this guy should have a Dust. Oh, they actually, like, he did actually really well there. Unfortunately, this lasts for so long, 14 seconds. Wait, did they just feed the... Oh no, I think he just died. That guy just get a kill? That's a power treads, guys. Luna going for real damage items now. Man, I'm like starting to be a little sold on the Aghanims on Eclipse. Like, it does a lot of damage to solo heroes, but people buy BKBs, so it's pretty easy to counter. If you're against an illusion hero, it would be really bad. So you only get 14 charges. Wow, they actually killed Sniper.
Who sniped who?
AC Tiny is great. I really recommend it, but in almost all cases, you're going to want to get an Aghanim Scepter first. Just because you get cleave damage with your hit, you can take towers really rapidly. You get extra toss damage when you get the Ags. If you're ganking, though, you don't really need to get Ags. If you're doing a ganking build and you go something like a Blink Dagger, I think it's fine to go straight AC after the Blink Dagger. I think that's okay. Oh, this guy's so dead. Yep, that was... Oh, look at that damage. PA, you're doing it. PA, you're doing it. Axe, get wrecked. Yo, this PA is probably so happy. Clock buying the big items, man. That's a BKB. Holy crap. He wants to win. Okay, this guy's definitely not. Playing the game definitely helps in survival. PA gets wrecked, though. Whoa, wait. He's like, I'm going to buy an Ags, and then he's just like, JK, getting a hood. I guess he does kind of need a hood against the Luna, huh? Wow, this damage is so big. Just right-click and you do so much. Daedalus MKB. That's some damage, man. It's actually the way that old Shadow Fiends used to build. Maybe not Daedalus straight into MKB, but they would go like Manta damage items. Almost always with butterflies and stuff. Most SFs use the Yule setup, which is a good idea. Alright, that was some damage. But this build is... not terrible. I mean, you do get bonus damage from Necromastery. It's like having a free MKB without the bonus damage and stuff. Oh, this is not the play. That was... Alright, maybe this was the play. Okay. Alright. Sniper does not know how to snowball his advantage. He should have attacked first and then maybe sniped. I think would have been a better play. Or, you know, bot lifesteal. That works too. His HP is just so low. He really needs a Scotty here, but it just doesn't stack with Desolator and Mjolnir. I think they either need to... Like, we almost never see Desolator anymore. I think they either need to nerf the lifesteal Scotty interaction, or they need to... maybe on ranged? I think in the past you couldn't have melee Scotties, I believe. Maybe they should allow melee Scotties with lifesteal, but not ranged Scotties with lifesteal. I feel like the ranged Scotty with lifesteal is so good.
Radiant's bottom tower
I feel like that's too good. I'm not sure. We'll see the patch soon. IceFrog said that he was going to release the patch after Starlighter, and Starlighter's happening this upcoming week. So I feel like that needs to happen, because Desolator is just... It's a no-brainer. Like, why would you ever get Desolator when you can get the other items? There's very, very few heroes that will buy Desolator. It's basically like Clinks can sometimes buy it now, but it's maybe not that worth it. There's a couple other... I'm honestly having trouble thinking of anybody that can get Desolator and for it to be useful. So it's not the play here. Although that Blade Mill did a lot of work. Holy crap.
clearly not your best.
Its cooldown is just so long, though. Maybe if the Ags reduced the cooldown by a bit more, like 20 seconds, people would build this more. I feel like it should reduce the cooldown. Because it barely buffs the skill if it's not one target. So that's the hard thing. But that's one of the cool things about Luna. You can clear the creeps really fast with Moonglaive. If you clear the creeps, then you can drop the ulti, and then it's going to be fantastic. You'll have a nice time. That looks like a dead hero. Yeah, if he's going to build eggs, he's doing this out of order. And as well, like, you don't... At this point, if you build eggs, you don't need Arcane Boots at all. You just need, like, a little bit of mana regen. Like a Sage's Mask or something. Alright, this is really bad. That's some dead heroes, guys. Okay, he's got BKB. Wasted dunk, but it doesn't matter, because he can still chase. Alright, Shadow Fiend is... Okay, alright, that's it. I thought he was going to get him, but they picked him up.
Dire's middle tower
Oh, is Sniper
is
about to
under
rampage or
attack.
something?
Dire's structures
Oh, the
are
power of the Shadow
fortified.
Blade. He did it. Maybe I should try that in a like a lower level Luna game. Just go like Mask of Madness treads into Manta Aghanims. He's doing it. PA's the hero. Alright, this guy's definitely dead now. And he still has a Desolator on him. That's so rough. This guy really needs an eggs. Man, this PA hits so hard for how few items he has. It's actually ridiculous.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He has just a Battle Fury, and he's actually helping quite a lot in the game. I guess that's what happens if you pick 5 cores, right?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I feel like it's really slipping out of the Radiant team's favor here. I mean, Sniper did have a big gold advantage, but I feel like his net worth is... It's not even that good anymore. He easily could have pushed this into a huge advantage. If he got better items and played a little better. Oh, that's a frozen guy. Oh, BKB, okay. Yeah, at this point, the Vlad's is kind of bad. This SF's doing pretty well considering he doesn't have a blink. I think he uses ulti really well there. Oh, hey. Oh, that was a mistake, Sniper. What an easy kill. SF hits so hard right now, and he's got BOTs, so he just runs really fast. Oh, that was good. Wow, that's so much damage. Timbersaw having a rough one. This guy needs a Shiva's or a Blade Mill. I think this would be an okay game for a Blade Mill, maybe. Because they do have so many right clickers that just do a lot of physical damage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Huh. But is this going to be the end? Is there a gold advantage? What's the graph like? I mean, they had like a 10k gold advantage all game.
Tower is under attack.
The Radiant team just really didn't organize, I feel. Like, did we ever see like an organized team fight? It's basically everybody just kind of doing what they want. Axe would try to get kills all the time. This is a call. Please blink in that. Oh no. That was the call, and now he's just gonna die. Oh man. If he comboed that with the Spirit Breaker, that would have been great. He just needs to use his ulti. Oh my god. He just took 1,000 damage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And SF is literally just right-clicking. It's kind of what Sniper did. Except SF hits a lot harder because of the presence, I think.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And he has a
attack.
Daedalus. Like, Daedalus is not to be underestimated, honestly. It's so good. That should be a kill. Give him the ult. Get him the ult. Get him the ult. Okay, you got him. I'm cheering for the Radiant team, guys. Alright, you're not going to make this A. Look at that. Look at that OP Aghanim's ulti. And he's got a Manta on top of this. I mean, anybody's build looks good once they're over level 16, right, guys? It's those early levels that are really important, though, for advantage. You walk back? Hey. Oh, he's gonna go for the snipe. Oh, wait, they're not that low. Never mind. That was not the buyback. Sniped him. Doesn't do anything, though. This guy needs to finish his item. Go send the courier. Get the Ring of Health. Holy crap. He really doesn't need a pipe, though. He needs a blade mill. He needs a little bit of armor. If he takes a lot of damage and reactive armor buffs up, he'll be kind of okay, but more armor is never going to be a bad thing for that guy. SF going for a Shadow Blade next, I guess. Radiant team pushing up. I would like to see them still win this if possible. I mean, they do have a Rax down, and there's a tier 3 tower, or tier 4 tower's almost dead. Just sniper bottle these mediocre items. That's one of the problems with Desolator as well. It doesn't scale very well. It's really good in the early game if you get it, but once people start buying armor items, it feels a lot worse. Hit that building. The other problem is that Mjolnir doesn't really increase your plus damage. Like, he spent a lot of money on this. This is like a 5,700 gold item. It only gives you 24 damage. And it gives you 80 attack speed. That part's good. But all the other damage is all magic damage. And it doesn't stack at all with Desolator. It's good for farming, but in most cases, like, the value of this item comes from the active. No way. Oh, I think he's dead. Is this Tuna? 491 for the level 3 ultimate. That's actually so much, though. So he's going to buy a Yasha or something. If he got like a Sanjin Yasha and just kited heroes, I think he would have been just fine. A lot of this game. BKB. Wow, this guy's building good items. Okay. Man, they just need to organize a bit better. Oh, that BKB is going to do so much work. Alright. Do it, Sniper. Sniper, just attack. Kill him. Sniper, you got this. Alright, now Sniper's going to die. Does he have Shadow Blade? He does in 12 seconds. Okay, he uses active. That's good. But does he have a Blade Mill? He does. Alright, this is where things get bad. As soon as his Blade Mill turns on. 2, 1. Do it. Oh, he got him. Just in time. He didn't even turn his Blade Mill on. I thought... I mean, Sniper could have attacked. Okay. And buyback. All right, what is this for, X? Let's see what you do with your buyback. Running mid. Running mid. Pushing. Okay. All right. He came here to push 2 creep waves and hit a building, and now he's going to die to Shadow Fiend. Bad souls. And... okay. This looks bad, though. This looks really bad. Man, this Spear Picker needed a BKB so badly. Alright, that was a buyback feed. Okay, that guy's dead. Is Timbersaw gonna die too? Timbersaw, no. Okay. That's good. What a sniper. He got so much gold from that. He's almost got eggs now. Will Timbersaw make it home? I think he will. I don't think they'll spot him. Almost an eggs on Tiny. Luna is going Desolator. Is that good? I've never in my entire life thought of Desolator on Luna. The Desolator is not going to apply on each Moonglaive, so that part's weird. I feel like it's not worth it. It's better off just to get Lifesteal. I mean, it's kind of a cool idea, but I don't think that's the item build. I think you're better off just buying agility items, especially if you have a Manta. If you have a Manta, Desolator does nothing for your illusions, except for the fact that you're reducing their armor, therefore your illusions would do more. You're better off buying like any kind of an agility item, like a butterfly, something like that. I think is going to be better off. Maybe instead of buying BKBs, Lunas need to start just buying Aghanim Scepters instead. Sorry, that's me, guys. That's me, sorry. Almost done. Is that the solution though? Aghanims over BKB. It gives comparable damage. BKB gives you 24 with 10 strength. Aghanims gives you 10 damage with 10 attack speed. And way more HP. And a lot more damage, I would argue. Maybe that's the solution. If you don't want to get a BKB, just get an eggs instead. 400 HP. It's kind of a cool idea. I'm gonna buy an eggs in a pub game. I'm gonna do it soon. I promise. Like, I'm gonna make the video and be like, eggs on Luna. Let's try it. I don't think I'll get it first item. Maybe I'll go Yasha eggs.
Dire's
Something
top
like that.
barracks are under attack.
Or Manta eggs. With a refresher. It makes the hero a little team fight focused, but I guess that's what BKB does as well. I think this game is pretty much over though. Axe is all about running down the mid. Oh, is this really? This is how the game is going? He just runs down mid and... These guys are tanky. Holy shit. Alright. Well, that didn't work out. Turns out that backdooring the throne is not a good plan. That's a ranged basher, guys. Shadowfiend really wants to win this. Sniped. Is that eggs? Okay, he's got eggs finally. Alright, the ranged basher is finished. I think this is a mistake. He should have a Scotty here or a lifesteal. I think would be the better answer. If these guys got BKBs or blade mills, they would have done so much more this game though. He opted for MKB. He was planning to do that, wasn't he? Oh, you can't build basher on Spirit Breaker. That's not fair. That is not allowed. Sniper's damage looks good here with the DD, but otherwise it's kind of bad. You got a Manta next. Manta's pretty garbage. Actually, Manta is actually garbage with this skill build, or this item build. It's terrible. The only reason that Manta looks kind of remotely good here is because he has plus agility from, like, what, Aquila, Manta, and Treads. Like, your illusions only do damage based on how much base number you have, this 160. That means that Shadowblade does not increase the damage your illusions do, Mjolnir does not increase the damage your illusions do, and Desolator does not increase the damage your illusions do, with the exception of lowering your armor, of their armor. So, these item builds together, it's not good, honestly. If you go Manta style, you should have a Scotty, because Scotty increases your agility. You should have a Butterfly. If you get a Butterfly and a Scotty, then your illusions actually do good damage. If you don't have all those agility items, then your Manta is pretty bad. This is basically the build that people used to do snipers a long time ago, before Sniper got pretty figured out. But it's frankly just not good. So I guess this is just how the game ends. And that's it. A lot of unideal skill builds and item builds. The biggest thing at low level players though is the skill builds. So make sure that your early skill builds are efficient, that they transition to what you need to be good. You want your nukes to be high early, you don't want to max out your passives, all that stuff. And at least I got some items. That was a pretty good game though. 50 minutes, tons of kills on both sides, tons of mistakes, lots of things to talk about. Clockwork's item build was good. I gave him a thumbs up. Anyone else have a good item build? Spiritbreaker had a pretty good early item build. Sniper's early item build was fine. Axe's item build was pretty ideal. I maybe would have skipped the Vanguard and gone straight eggs and then gotten like a Shiva's or something like that. I think would have been good, or an AC on X might have been better. Because at some point he was taking too much physical damage and needed to get an armor item. Damage block isn't very good against carries, basically. It's very good against summons, but it's not very good against carries. Against carries, you need to get armor items instead. So that's the game. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm probably going to stream today, so I'll see you in a couple hours. Or basically, if you're watching now, I'm probably streaming, because it usually takes about 3 hours for the videos to process now, 2 hours because of the 60 FPS. So I'll be back in just a second. Or basically, go check out my stream. Go to purgegamers.com/stream. Also, to announce, since it's been announced by Starladder, I'm going to Starladder Finals, and I'm going to be casting there. So if you guys want to tune into that, I'm leaving in 2 days to go to the Starladder Finals. So I will see you guys there. There's a lot of really good teams going to the Starladder Finals. I think it's going to be a really fun LAN. Let me check out the teams list. Starladder season... Are we on 12? Starladder season 12. I'm opening up the Wikipedia here. First place prize is $57,000. Then it's $25K, $17K, and $10K. And there's 8 teams going. We got Cloud9, Secret, Alliance, London Conspiracy, which is a bunch of Greek players, Team Malaysia, Team Tinker, Vici Gaming, and IG. This is a really good LAN. The only team that's really missing from this is EG, in my opinion. So this will be a really fun LAN to go to. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. So going in 2 days, it's basically a top tier LAN, top Chinese teams, top EU teams, and Team Tinker is going to be there. They've been playing better, and Alliance as well. The only team I don't know very much about is London Conspiracy. Team Malaysia, I've been playing against and seen them a long time. We played against them a lot when we were in Korea. So anyways, that's it for the video today. I will see you guys on stream. Bye.